You know, it's okay. We live and we learn. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Two Dudes Drinking Beer. I'm Josh.
I'm Alec.
It's episode 101. Like Zoe 101. That was a good ass show back in the day. Today's 2DDB FFOTD, the fun fact of the day, the B now, the butthole.
The butthole.
Is that NASCAR drivers can lose 5 to 10 pounds in sweat during one race.
That's amazing.
And they're just going left.
Sign me up.
Well, it's just water weight.
I know.
That weight goes off super easy.
Super smooth. Thank you for joining us for episode 101. This is going to be a little bit down tempo from episode 100.
It's going to be boring.
So
the fucking pickles are still in here.
This is just kind of us recuperating. Today we're going to be drinking acai. It is a dry Japanese beer.
It's one of the big three. You got Kirin, Ichiban,
And acai.
you got Sapporo, and you got Asahi.
And we were watching some anime before this, and felt like some Japanese beer would be just kind of, god damn it, the tits. So,
Smells like beer.
does it? Is it just gonna be another beer?
No, Asahi's good.
Oh, it's a good smelling. It's a great smelling.
Asahi's a good beer.
5.2, 11.2 fluid ounces. So
The Japanese know what they're doing.
Here.
It's Japan's #1 selling beer.
here's to you, Japan.
Good beer.
That's good. You know what that'd go great with? Sake.
Yeah, sake bomb.
That would go great with a fucking sake bomb.
Why don't we do that?
Because I fucking drink
Never-
too much.
Never thought about it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't taste it before. This would go amazing with some sake, though. Like, you could tell it's like, this is what you get with some fucking ramen or some fucking
You go
sake
to
or...
a Japanese food restaurant.
Yeah.
And eat Japanese food.
Yeah.
You got to drink Japanese beer.
You got to do it. It's like when you go to a Mexican restaurant, you got to get a Modelo or a Corona or a margarita.
Bud Light.
But Bud Light and a hamburger. What God intended in America. That was funny because I just went to Del Taco and got the double Del.
The best fast food burger.
It really
the
is,
best
dude.
fast food burger in the
It's
game.
so slept on because it's like you wouldn't expect Del Taco to have the best burger in the game,
Because it's Mexican food.
but it has the best burger in the game, hands down.
Yes, I agree.
So it's like I'm sitting here preaching one thing and literally living my life another way. So that's fucking fun.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I got super drunk with Ryan. We went and watched the fight, the UFC fight. I don't even remember who it was, but Nia Fleur, what's up?
Animal Crossing with us in the background. Nice.
Oh yeah, we'll take that. We went to the fight night and got super wasted, and I don't remember who won, but all the fights were good. There was a fight where some dude, it was like one of the first ones when I first showed up, he gets him in like a fucking arm bar, and he's pulling and he's pulling and he's pulling, and the guy doesn't tap, and he goes, and he fucking broke his arm, bro. And
that'll happen.
everyone at the bar in unison goes, oh, and then it was like, every time the replay was on, it was like, watch, everyone got quiet. Oh, every fucking time, bro. Everyone was just like, it was bad. It was so bad. As far as seeing a knockout's great. Seeing someone like get fucking their arm broken and dislocated, oh, that's some other shit, man. That makes it an emergency.
Sounds cool.
How was your weekend?
Whole lot of nothing. Just working, and I got finals this week, so almost done with school. It's almost summertime. Gonna have a hot guy summer.
Are you excited about going on campus for school next semester? Is that a possibility for you?
Oh, it's 100% gonna happen. As long as I'm vaccinated, which I have been for like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be cool. I'll get my real college experience after going to fake college for 7 years.
Gonna join a frat?
I don't think they have Greek life there. How do you cure a hangover? Drink water and not be a bitch.
Go to Jack in the Box, order an extreme sausage with a Sprite, and jerk off after you eat or before you eat, whatever you prefer.
You drink water and not be a bitch.
But you need to get some Sprite and some greasy breakfast food into you,
Water.
and then masturbate, and then bust a fat nut.
A cold shower.
Listen to me, or do his thing and then my thing, whatever. But you need to get your rocks off, and you need greasy food and Sprite.
Your rocks or your ox?
Rocks.
Okay.
ROCKS. Rocks. As in 2 little dingly grape berries hanging from your genitals. From your
I wouldn't call those rocks.
From your crotch.
I saw something on TikTok about
Your
like
ski lift.
what?
It looks like a little ski lift when you think about it. It's got the gondola cable and then 2 little people sitting down on the chairs. They're buds hanging out in a sack.
Okay, the 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
I saw this thing on TikTok where it was like, don't let the women find out that our testicles aren't squishy. And then someone was like, what? They're not? And so I asked a couple of my female friends, like, hey, do you think testicles are hard or squishy? And they were like, are they not squishy? And I was like, no, they're not.
Yeah, boobs, squishy.
Testicles, hard.
Balls, hard. Yeah. Very, very not squeezable.
It's one of those things you don't really think about if Josh rated PG, Alec rated R, triple X. Yes. I like to keep this show family friendly, and he brings the element.
You love vodka mixed with Corona. That's always a bad idea. When you start, look, I've said this and I've preached this. Like, I will drink 1 drink when I go out now, because if I start drinking a bunch of drinks, I just get so sick. I drank 805 all Saturday, and then like I had a few shots of whiskey, and even that was like enough to make me be like, ugh, I feel like shit the next day. I wasn't super hungover, just like nauseous. But the more you mix, the burps are really great. You get that aftertaste.
I just smell the cleaning products.
For sure.
Still.
We kind of trashed the studio last Monday,
Just
last
this
Wednesday.
half.
Just Josh's half. Still smells like egg apparently, but
Well, it's because I just left it to sit and it just dried and cured, and cleaning it out today gets all the smells out. It's like when you dehydrate something and you add water to it, it's not the same.
have you ever dehydrated food before cooking?
Beef to make jerky once. It's pretty good.
That sounds badass, yeah. I've never done
You
that.
just really put it on like a grill at like really low temp for 14 hours.
All day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to do that. And then I was like sitting at home. I'm watching a TV show right now. It's called Mad Men. So I'm watching a TV show called Mad Men. And it's about...
Isn't that like Suits
kind of. It's
on
like
HBO?
it. Kind of. It's about advertisement. It's about like advertisement business on Amazon Prime. And it's so funny because I realized at one point I was watching a show about advertisements on Amazon Prime that literally caters every advertisement to my search history on Amazon. And I remember realizing, I was like, huh, no, that's actually something I would buy. And I'm always like surprised because it's usually like makeup or something else.
You'd buy makeup?
No. It's usually makeup or something else when I'm watching TV. And then I'm watching it on Amazon and it's like, buy a CyberDeck power conditioner. And I was like, how did you guys know I was looking at power conditioners? And then I closed it and it's like back to the Amazon front page. And I'm like, oh, so you guys have my entire shopping history and use those ads between the shows. Genius. And I'm watching it for a TV show about advertisement. It was so perfect.
So I've never watched anything on Amazon Prime. So when you're watching it, they show you like, hey, you were browsing this. Why don't you buy it?
It's like, okay, so basically you watch...
Because that's fucked up.
Usually with Amazon Prime, you get like whole series, no commercials. But they started adding more like common TV shows, but you have to watch them with commercials.
That's fine.
So, yeah. So like you still get a lot of good stuff. Like Mr. Robot, I watched with no commercials. Like I said, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. So I wanted to watch Mad Men because I saw like a YouTuber like cover like Don Draper's like physique and all that, and like how to be like confident and like a smooth salesman. And I was like, okay, well, like maybe I'll check it out. And I had to watch it with ads. So usually you get it without ads, but sometimes you get it with ads. And I forgot what I was saying. I forgot what you asked. Yeah, so the ads they send me...
They just show you what you were browsing out, and they're like, why don't you buy it?
Kind of. So basically, you go through my browsing history. It's a lot of music shit, right? It's a lot of gear. So I get like a lot of stuff now for like guitar straps, and then power conditioner, since I bought the power conditioner. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of like... I get a lot of alcohol stuff. I don't know how they know that. I never bought alcohol through Amazon. They They just know me, I guess.
Give me a solid rotation.
Oh, sorry. Just grab me. Just like verb.
Well, if you ever just see me go like this, just do it. Just mimic me. Ghost hand mixes and he blacked out. A lot of people have that one kind of drink that they will never touch again because
Tequila.
It just fucked him up.
I can't do tequila. I was 2 shots into tequila. I vomited, and I tried to do a 3rd shot, and I was like, no, my body just rejects it 100% now. It's like full send out.
I'm not a fan of spiced rum. I like regular rum, but I don't like spiced rum. Captain Morgan could go fuck itself.
I remember those nights with the Sailor Jerry's tattoo.
Yeah, disgusting.
I liked it, but you know,
It was a fun time. It was
Yeah.
just gross.
yeah, that's what I always think about when I think of rum. It's like, aside from that, I never drink rum. I just always have that one story or something about rum.
Fireball, disgusting.
Fireball is something that I've also learned to be like, you know, one is okay.
It's a good
But-
it's a good stepping stone.
Yeah.
In introduction to alcohol because it's sweet. Mm-hmm. And then like, I mean it's because of the cinnamon it burns. Like cinnamon candies I would never eat, but like maybe one box of little tiny red hots, the size of like the Raisinets.
Yeah.
A little bit of red hots are okay, or like big red gum.
Kachaka? Kachasa? I don't know what that accent mark is supposed to pronounce, so I'm sorry if I'm messing it up.
I mean, you don't have to pronounce it out loud. You could throw it into Google and see what Google says.
Well, then, I mean, either way, I'd rather just spit it out and be like, am I wrong? Tell me if I'm wrong.
You probably are.
I'm saying I am. I'm not ashamed of it.
Kachaka.
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 You're not.
So I wasn't wrong.
You're not wrong. Wow, look at you, cultured.
Kachaka. I can read in Brazil.
Portuguese.
Portuguese. That's the one.
That. You went from I'm on top of the world to ignorance real
I
quick.
went from being, maybe he's not ignorant, to that's just cultural appropriation, my friend. But yeah, the ads I get are just like, they're personalized from like what I bought recently, and I didn't realize it until one day I just closed out of the video. Mm-hmm. And it was like recently searched products, and it was like power conditioners because I was looking for them recently, and I was like, that's like, first of all, it's hysterical because it's literally about like marketing and like how to get people in, and I have to watch it with ads, and it's all shit that they just, or like, you have a music tendency, here's some music shit, do you play guitar, do you do this, what are you gonna buy? And then alcohol is just bukaka bukaki. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that's just what I've been up to.
Something noteworthy that happened in my weekend at work was I was helping a couple pick out a blender, and they were asking me like, oh, what's this, like, what are these good for, like, what's the prices and whatnot.
They're good for blending.
because they can't fucking read the prices literally underneath them on the shelf. And I was like, what do you, like, after 15 minutes, I was like, what do you need this blender for? And they're like, oh, we're just gonna make margaritas. And they're looking at like $150 blenders, and I'm like,
You don't need
I
that.
was like, you just get a fucking $30 one and
Throw the bag of ice on the ground 5 times, and then just crumble it into the glass and pour over ice.
I was like,
You're fine.
if all you're doing is margaritas with it, and you just like get a $30 blender, and they're like, it's too small. And they were like, they weren't rich looking. They looked like they lived in a trailer and like kind of white trash. And they're like, I'm going to spend $120 on this blender solely for margaritas. And they walked out with a Ninja instead of an Oster.
That's
Like,
the thing
I
is
was
like,
if that's what you guys fucking want, go ahead. I don't care. I don't make money from these sales. It doesn't affect me. I'm just trying to help you guys out because you look like you shouldn't be spending $120 on a blender.
that's what I'm saying, Ghost Hand. May as well just smash it with a hammer.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing I don't get, right?
I also, when I was thinking, like, when they said it's too small, I was like, make more. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's a one and done thing.
Mm-hmm. It's not a blender that only works for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Go nuts.
You can make all your own margaritas, make all your wife's margaritas.
And that's kind of how you're supposed to make a margarita. When you go to a bar, they blend the ice, pour you your margarita, give it to you. Next one, pour the ice, blend the ice, pour the margarita, give it to the person.
Unless
at the
you're
table.
having like a party of like 20 people and they all want margaritas.
And you want to do it out of a fucking Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? One of those Gatorade containers.
That's why they're white trash.
That is why they're white trash. That's what I don't get though about sales, and why I can never do sales is because when you really sit down and think about it, like those people came in knowing what they wanted. And it's like,
Yeah.
they were going to walk out with that ninja, whether or not you suggested it. All they wanted to hear was, I want this ninja. I'm sure the target person will be like, you should just go with the ninja. It's more expensive. And then you're just like, no, like, because you live that life, you know that life. You're like, just go with the fucking cheap one. Like,
Spend $29.99.
it's a margarita. Like, it doesn't need to be fucking perfect. It's just ice. And they're like, we want the ninja. And it's like, I don't ever see anywhere in the world. I don't see anyone in the world ever being like, oh. Yes, we know it's you on Twitch. It's your fucking name. it's your fucking name and your fucking last name. We get it. Shut up and play Animal Crossing. You're not special. You want to fucking shout out? Get out of here. Who do you think you are?
Oh, blenders. But yeah, they were just debating between like $150 and $120, and I was like, really, the two you're looking at are the same thing. It's not really gonna matter. And if you're only making fucking margaritas, doesn't matter. Just broke ice in a sack, deposit it into a bucket, and use one of those sticks with the immersion blenders. Those are nice. I want to get one.
You know what they should use? They should use those salsa grinders with the ice.
A pestle and mortar.
A pestle and mortar. Fucking, that's a spicy margarita, man. Some people, they gotta like it spicy. Fucking
Get the taste of fucking concrete in your blender.
get the taste of love.
Or-
Mother's tortillas.
Ideally made out of volcanic rock instead.
Why is that a thing?
It's just how they are.
It's just how they are, or just how they're made.
The pestle and mortars are. That's just how they are.
Okay.
Not the people.
Not okay.
Fuck you. I can't even say that's how the people are. I'm half. That's okay. Fuck you mean you're trying to make this a race thing.
It's always a race thing. It's always a race thing. It's always gonna be a race thing until people realize, like, it's not a race thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Employee discount's only 10%. It's not worth it.
That's nothing. Was that $15 off of 110?
Nespressos aren't also that nice, to be fair. They're basically a Keurig. They use the same pods. Or, I mean, they're smaller pods. They're a little different.
Do you feel like you know better equipment for household shit now that you're working in, like, that area? And you're just like, I would, because, like, for me, it happened in audio to where I'm like, I need this. No doubt.
I mean, so I'm around.
What up, Phantom?
Because of the froth machine. You don't need frothy milk, Nani. And even then,
Boil it.
you can
Heat up some
buy
milk.
a frother itself for $18.99.
You
we
do.
sell it. It's going to be racing until people realize that their 100-year-old tradition are bullshit and we need to make more new cultural standards. Yes. It's like all those videos of people who are like, I'm dressed as in a sombrero and a poncho and this is cultural appropriation. They're on a fucking college campus and everyone's like,
All the white kids are like,
you're offensive. And then they go to like a Mexican market and they're like, I love your costume.
yeah. And that's what I'm saying, man, is like, it needs to be a hard reset too, because there's this weird thing on Twitter and movement and culture. People think culture is one thing. Culture is something you don't realize is culture until it's something that's done, right? So we look back on the 50s, like you said, the Mad Men TV show was about living in a nuclear time and place, and women would dress the same and be very delicate or whatever, but everyone still sleeps with everyone's like cheating on everyone.
They still got beat.
Yeah, well, everyone's cheating on everyone basically at all times, and everyone's pretending like they don't know, and when they get caught it's like a big deal. But
I pulled up the literal definition of culture.
Go ahead.
And there's really the two. The arts and other manifestations of human intellectual achievement regarded collectively, and the customs, art, social institutions, and achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group.
and right now, like, let's just be honest, I think podcasting is like a culture.
Yeah.
Twitch streaming, totally a culture thing.
Now, what does appropriation mean?
That's a good question.
The action of taking something for one's own use, typically without the owner's permission.
Who owns a sombrero?
Nobody owns culture.
Nobody owns culture.
You could argue that a group of people do, but not a singular person.
They don't own it.
So
They created it.
You can't take it without permission.
This is a Japanese beer. Are we culturally appropriating them because we're drinking a Japanese beer? No.
If we taped our eyes sideways, maybe.
Oh, that'd just be racist. But like,
And they argue cultural appropriation is racist.
this is that right there?
No, that's what people argue cultural appropriation. This is just appropriation.
No, man. I mean, here's the thing. Like, think of it like anything. Like gay parade.
Pride.
Gay pride. Thank you. Whatever.
The gay day.
The gay day.
Well, month. Next month.
If somebody was just like, hey, don't have a parade because we're the original gays. Like, do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
You don't hear the people in 1969 during the Stonewall riots
who are
saying
like,
that.
who are like, yeah, no black person's ever going to be like, don't have a civil rights movement because we did it first. Like, that will never happen. That should never happen. And all of a sudden it became woke culture of people being like,
holier than thou.
holier than thou is like, what can I do? Oh, I don't know. White people just need,
Because white people don't have culture.
white people need more to do.
They want to protect
Yeah.
other people's culture.
And you know what? You know what white people need is they need to go talk to people with darker skin than they
White
do.
people need to get beat.
White people need to get hit.
It's okay to be gay. Just come out, dog.
I'm gay.
But
I'm not straight no more.
and on the one hand, we have the account of our Brazilian friend, Ghost Hand. And he hates the talk of cultural appropriation, as he says.
Because everyone's got a brain, man, and I think people, it's really one of those things where you have to wake up one day and be like, I don't know, like, is it funny?
You pick your own battles.
Yeah, and like people.
Are you really gonna fucking yell at the kid wearing a sombrero and a poncho? Mm-hmm. Ponchos serve a purpose. Mm-hmm. They're pretty helpful in certain weather conditions. Mm-hmm. Sombreros are a wide brim hat. Mm-hmm. Protect you in the sun.
And ponchos
Yeah.
protect you from the rain, protect your clothes. He was wearing that.
If they're not made out of cotton, but yes.
But would it be cultural appropriation to say that's a good idea? Let's make a rain poncho, and because you see people at the time all the time at like NFL games when it's raining or snowing, they're wearing those raining ponchos. Yeah. That's what they call them. They call them rain ponchos. Mm-hmm. Is that cultural appropriation because we've adapted it to work in the rain and we just took the name?
We didn't ask Jose to do it.
Whoa. I don't know who Jose is, but I don't know. It's weird, right? Because it's like, imagine if people in China or Japan start streaming and twitching after we do. Is that cultural appropriation if we do it first? Is that the bottom line for cultural appropriation? Is just who did it first and then who decides to hop on the trend?
What about a KKK outfit?
That protects your identity so you can stay a racist in peace.
Yes, that exactly.
It's all it is. The mask is built in. You can do a clan cookout the next day, and the next day you can wave hi to Jamal, and be like, I don't know, I think these thoughts in private, but I'll never take them to work.
One thing I get wanting to see your cultural represented in a good manner. Example: Simpsons Brazil episode. Didn't know they had a Brazil episode.
I didn't either.
No. Represents Brazil right, and I get people saying, "Hey, it's kind of shitty." It's like, because that's satirical. They're gonna make fun of it, but it's also not meant to be taken seriously.
A lot of TV shows in America, like South Park and The Simpsons, is satire based. So like when the Tesla came out, all of a sudden all these TV shows made episodes about the Tesla, and they make fun of it.
It's a little racist, sure, but it's also all for the sake of comedy.
Yeah, it's
a joke.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
You can't take that serious, and some people do, and that's part of where the problem lies.
The most important thing I think I've learned in college when it came to reading, and I've said this before, is like my literature critical analysis class. My teacher pointed out that like Martin Luther's The 95 Thesis when he was distancing himself from the church was very backhanded.
Yeah, the letters from the Birmingham jail.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's like tone is everything. And she said, even in today's standard, it hasn't changed. We read something about rape, and it was like, it was very backhanded in tone. And the first sentence was, not to be like a Judas or whatever. And it goes off on this long kind of like list of like him like fantasizing a rape. And it's like,
Martin?
No. It was, I don't remember the author or anything like that, but it was like, it was a bunch of it was like a poem kind of thing. And it was like, she's like, this is like a little heavier, but it's like, listen to the tone of it. And it was like about this dude like raping somebody. And it was very like, not that I wouldn't enjoy it and blah, 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 blah. And like, it was just a lot of like weird things. But at the end of the day, she's like, you need to look at not what was said, but how it was said, even in text, right? Because you could have a tone where I'm like, bro, fuck you. Or I'm like, bro, fuck you. And those...
Not necessarily the content, but the context.
Exactly. Those make two very big different distinctions of a feeling or an emotion. She said you need to pay attention to that in text as well, even when you're reading. Because there's some things people can say that are going, hey, this is like a guy fantasizing about like his sexual pleasure that he doesn't tell anyone about. Like he fantasizes about this. This isn't like a thing he's planning or he's going to do. This is like how
Just
he's
thoughts.
coping with his thoughts. And she's like, you need to look at like, there is sort of a tone in it that is joking, like to where he knows like, this isn't going, I'm not going to go rape this person. I'm saying this because like this thing happened and now it's like, how could I get back at him? I could rape him. You know what I'm saying?
And then someone laughs.
Or exactly. Or it's like, how are you going to get back at him? I'm going to rape him. Like I said, those two things are very obvious when I said it, but in that poem or whatever, it was one of those poems that didn't rhyme, so I wasn't a huge fan. But
Poems don't have to rhyme,
poems don't have to rhyme, I know. But it was one of those things where she kept pointing out, and she's like, the tone is so important, and it really is. And it's like, it's something so easy to pick up on while speaking. In text though, like when you see shit on Twitter,
It's a bit harder
it's harder
because there's no voice or body language to it.
and there's no way around it. So when people say, you know,
Especially if you don't know that person.
if people say Black Lives Matter, of course someone's gonna go like, oh, so what? White lives don't? Yeah.
All lives matter.
But guess what tone is coming out right here?
It's a mocking tone.
Yeah, but also it's also just someone being like, hey, Black Lives Matter, and someone responds with armpit farts and raspberries, and you're like, yo, I was not taking that tone with you guys. I was just saying this thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. It could be like, hey, all women, what are they saying? It's like, always believe a woman who accuses a man of rape. What's the
Is there an acronym or?
no, it's like just the saying. They're like,
I've never heard it.
always support women no matter what when they talk about rape or abuse. Anyway, there's something like that going on.
I would say yes and no.
Well, yeah, it's like, of course, here's the thing. I'm the guy who's
Hashtag believe women.
hashtag that's probably it. Yeah, it's like no matter what they say, if a woman came up to me and was like, Josh raped me, I'd be like, what was his tone? No, I'm kidding. But
If a woman comes up to you and says, I raped her, you know she's fucking lying.
I know.
First of all,
But-
I just want to throw that out there.
but that's my point, right? Is like, if
In
you
that
can,
case, I don't believe women. The audacity.
my point being is, you need to take account for like the tone and the saying of the meaning. And when people go, just believe them, I immediately have to hit the brakes. I'm like, that was never a good idea from the start. Like, and it's not just a believe women thing. It's like an everything thing, right? Like, you know, when they put lead in paint and they're like, the paint will last longer.
Give it to your kids.
Turns out that was a terrible fucking idea. And they put lead in gasoline.
Eat off of it.
They put lead in gasoline. Turns out that was a terrible idea because it would stop rattling and it'd clean your engine at the same time. If you just believe the first thing, you're not going to realize how much it's hurting everything around you in the long run.
And that's why Mr. Socrates died.
And there's a lot of that going on right now. There's been a lot of that going on where it's just like everyone's a victim. Everyone deserves more. And
If everyone's a victim, who victimized them?
yeah, and then also if everyone deserves more, it's like when they say pay teachers more, it's like, okay, from where? Like there's always going to be that opposite effect. The other side of the shoe, when the other shoe drops, the other side of the coin, however you want to phrase it, there's always going to be someone else on the other side being like, yeah, armpit farts and raspberries, bro. And it's like, it's going to be a lot cleaner if you learn to take the step back and be like, you know what? Maybe don't believe all women. Believe the women that, have the proof and the evidence, and the guys who are shady, like, look into them. Maybe don't culturally appropriate, but also, like, it's not going to hurt anyone if you wear a sombrero. Like, plus also, like, sombrero vendors probably like it when you buy their sombreros, whether or not you wear it for cultural appropriation.
The cases of women falsely accusing men are super fucked up, especially when it happens to student athletes.
Because it was their whole life.
There was like one case where this guy, he also happened to be black. He was like he would have gotten drafted in, to a college. Got like perfectly full ride, play football.
He had
really big prospects, and probably getting details wrong, but it doesn't matter. The idea stands.
You guys have the internet. You can fact check us.
And he went to jail for like 8 years, and then they retried it, and he was innocent because she lied. And so right now in this period of society, we're in a very anti-male thing, and I understand. Men are pretty fucking garbage, right? As a collective, we could do better. But so can you. That's not the point, though.
We can all try a little harder.
Everyone can do better. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I don't have the answers.
Take a deep breath. Think about what you're going to say.
Falsely accusing of rape should be tried as severely as rape charges. Yes.
I agree.
There needs to be repercussions.
I think in the case of the guy who got sent to jail for 8 years and then was found out to be innocent, I think the woman should be held responsible for repaying. Like usually when the court falsely accuses you of murder or something, they release you and they give you like a lot of money for all the time that you've lost. Most people win about $8 to $10 million. I think she should be on the hook for that. I think she should serve time, and I think it should be somewhere along the lines of like, not like a sex offender registry, but there should be some sort of like registry almost to where it's like, I falsely accused someone, like to where it's like, if you molest children, like you need to be put on the website to let people know, like, I falsely accused people. I mean, I molested or sexually abused someone. I think it should be the same thing to where like that should follow you, to where it's like every time you apply for a job and like, hey, I'm required by the state of wherever to inform you that I
am a liar.
I falsely accused someone of rape allegations and they served 8 years in jail because of my actions. I also owe him $8 million in reparations, and I would like this job at McDonald's to do that or whatever. But like, do you know what I'm saying? Like that should be a weight you have to carry around because you did something wrong and it wasn't cool. It's illegal. That should be illegal. 100%. You've ruined someone's life.
Also, the false accusations sully the real accusations and make
that too
it all look bad. As if you can be like, oh, I got raped, and then someone's like, okay, you're probably
just crying wolf.
Yeah, it makes the whole if she did, then the actuality of it happened. The whole
and
system,
that's what I'm saying is
in place isn't a good one for it, because you have all people dismissing it, and it's like, okay, well, there's not really much I can do besides getting a rape kit done and trying to test for evidence or DNA evidence and seeing like what you can get. Full stop.
Okay. Yeah, that's the shitty thing too. Is like it's. I don't know how hard it. Let's look it up. Let's try and educate ourselves.
That'd be a good first step.
How hard is it to prove rape? Probably just got flagged right there. Let's click on the third link. It says rape cases are difficult to prove because because they should be. Just so you guys know, I'm reading off the law office of Jocelyn C. Stewart. So, sounds like a woman. Go woman. Be a lawyer. What is missing from the dialogue about the military and its sexual assault epidemic? Didn't even know that was a thing. Now we're already that much more informed.
There was that base in what is it, Texas, where people just went missing.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Like female officers were dead and raped.
Jesus Christ. The one who wants to hear this in the military has done everything it can to stop sexual assault in its tracks. From creating positions of attorneys that represent the alleged victims to strengthening advocacy groups, providing other resources to encourage reporting, the military has been, on all accounts, stepped up its efforts at both detections and prevention. But the statistics do not bear on the military's campaign against sexual assault in having any impact. In fact, the successful prosecution statistics indicate a dip in holding people that are accused responsible. So, this is a really long paragraph. It's a really long article. I'm trying to look for something because it said in quotes, "Why is it so hard to prove?" And I think I kind of want to just TLDR it and get to that point.
Control F it.
Hard to prove.
Hard to prosecute, you got right there.
Okay, cool. I write from this perspective as one of the 15 original Army Special Victims prosecutors charged with being on the front lines of the military campaign against sexual assault. I write from the perspective of one of a low but rising number of civilian court-martialed defense attorneys. I write from the perspective of someone that specializes in combating the military efforts to prosecute every alleged allegation against sexual assault. Rape cases are hard to prosecute, but the military is bending to the will of the congressional efforts that are trying to make it easier and easier at the expense of the military accused, at the expense of fairness, at the expense of due process, and ultimately at the expense of the would-be complainant. Oh shit! Fuck that up.
It's the very last paragraph, basically. It was at the bottom of the article.
It was at the bottom of the article, but there's so many fucking paragraphs. I just fucked it up.
You didn't, because you were reading the last.
Oh, I hit the space bar.
But yes, complainant.
Complainant. Complainant. That is not a victim of anything more than an incomplete memory.
So basically, we didn't get shit from that article.
It didn't help us at all.
But it's also we're no fucking experts in the subject.
Why is it so hard to prosecute rape?
Not a lawyer. All my knowledge comes from Law and Order SVU, and that is TV. So it's not the most reliable source of information.
Warning, this article features detailed accounts of rape and suicidal thoughts.
TW. Trigger warning.
This is just a video. That's the thing too, is like there was a victim describing her time, and like that's kind of weird, right? It's because it's like people always give so much detail about it, and it's like I feel like
I think the idea behind that is to be graphic so people can
will
hear.
have the shock value of it, or
not just shock value, but to have people like, damn, that's fucked up. I wouldn't do that to someone. Or like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want that to happen to me. But it's more or less on the people like, fuck, I don't want to do that to somebody.
I'm just saying they seem to remember a lot of it.
I'm sure if you had a very vivid, traumatic experience, you'd remember everything about it. A meta-analysis of confirmed false rape reporting rates in the archives of sexual behavior in 2016 found that 5.2% of cases were confirmed false.
That's not a huge number, considering how many rape cases there seem to be in 2016.
It's still an unfortunate amount.
Around 40,000. But 5% of 40,000 is what? Let me get this. Let me crack out this bad boy.
I don't have to take any more math classes.
40,000 minus 5%, 5.2%. Still 2,080 people. 2,080 people were
Lives.
falsely accused of rape. I don't know if they're were they convicted?
Who knows? Not me. 2016, that was a long time ago.
It was.
800? See, I was thinking there's an 8 in there too.
No, I mean, out of 40,000 though, 5% it's more for sure.
Good guess. Yeah. I don't know math. Math is not my strong suit. So I want to get off of this topic because, reasons.
Sure.
And I'm also not trying to type from my fucking voice. God damn it, you phone.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so I was wondering, like, okay, so how many horses is 1 horsepower? And you'd think like 1 horse, right? Because 1 horsepower is 1 horse.
Well, first of all, do you know where it stems from? Is like the horse and buggy.
No, but let me finish this.
Okay.
So I was on a TikTok, of course, and I saw this really big horse. His name was Big John. He used to pull he used to work for the Amish people, pulling carts and whatnot, plowing fields, and he's a fucking huge horse. It was like 20 hands tall. That's a pretty big ass
20
horse.
hands?
That's how they measure height in horses.
In the Amish community?
And the horse,
How big is a hand?
in the horse community. Look it up. It was like 20 hands tall.
The fact that the Amish people have to resort to like how many
It's
hands?
not the Amish people.
What'd you say?
The horse community.
There's a horse community?
Yes. You know a horse girl?
I know a horse girl, but I don't know how they measure 20 hands in horse. 20 hands horse. Imagine 20 hand horses.
But, okay, so I was thinking, like, damn, this horse is fucking huge. How many horsepower is this horse? Like, what's the average horse that powers 1 horsepower?
Okay.
So, I was thinking, how much is 1 horsepower? There's duck power, apparently.
There is. Everything has a power ratio. You show me the video. It was like 1 horsepower is like a billion ants or something like that. It was like, okay.
So in the U.S., 1 horsepower is defined as a unit of power equal to 746 watts, nearly equivalent to the English gravitational unit of the same name that equals 550 foot-pounds of work per second. So something that can move 550 foot-pounds a second is 1 horsepower.
How far? Just at all? Does it have to move a certain distance?
It equals the work done in lifting 550 pounds 1 foot in 1 second.
1 foot in 1 second.
Yeah, 550 pounds in
That
move
sounds about
1
right.
foot in 1 second.
Especially if you're using a truck for like towing. Then it makes perfect sense.
I mean, you could equate that to yourself too.
Sure.
If you can carry 550 pounds in the first place.
Sure, but it makes more sense to say I need horsepower and I'm a
Yeah, for
tow
like
truck
for like
or-
vehicles.
yeah. Makes way more sense.
So that's the basis. 550 pounds to move 1 foot in 1 second. So I'm pretty sure the average horse is pretty strong, right?
Big Jake became famous worldwide in 2010 after he was crowned the tallest horse in the world by Guinness World Records at an extremely 20 hands, 2.75 inches per hand, or roughly 210.2 centimeters, or 82.5 inches. The average height of a Belgian horse is usually between 16 and 17 hands. Literal war horses. Yeah.
6'8". 6'8".
Damn, really?
Well,
That's a big boy.
6.8 feet.
That's a big boy, dude. He can dunk on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big ass horse.
Check World War II war horses. How do you know that? That's so cool.
Horse is horsepower derived from?
They don't look so big, but
A well-known calculation at the time, one pit pony could haul one cart filled with 220 pounds of coal 100 feet in a mine shaft in 1 minute.
what are the horses for the Budweiser horses again?
Clydesdale.
Clydesdale. Look up the size of an average Clydesdale. Those are the biggest horses I've ever seen. Oh, they are Clydesdales.
17 to 19 hands.
Yes. They are considered war horses. Makes sense. Okay. They don't really look too big in these pictures, but
They're
this
fucking
one's
huge.
fucking big. That's a big boy.
They're huge horses.
Look at that guy. Jesus. No, Clydesdales are big, but they didn't. The ones in the pictures, they don't look like this one. Doesn't look super big.
If you Google
That one. Look at this guy, dude. That's a Cadillac of horses.
they're huge, man. But if you Google what horse is horsepower derived from, and you scroll down, like the people also ask, someone asked, what is the horsepower of a horse? And it's 15 horsepower. So the calculation.
So times it by 15.
The calculation is fucking weird.
It's a broken system,
Well,
man.
the horses back then smaller, probably.
For sure they were. And now you got to account like they've been bred.
You got to account for the inflation.
Horse inflation.
Don't look that up. Horse inflation, Rule 34.
Good rule of thumb. Don't look up anything inflation right now for the next like 2 years probably.
The maximum output of a horse is around 15 horsepower.
That's hilarious.
When you average the output of a horse over the course of a workday, it ends up being around a horsepower.
That almost sounds like a limerick. When you average the horse of the work and the work of the horse of the whore. Like, what? Sounds like the darkest subreddit ever. Yeah.
So horsepower is a broken metric, really. If one
Horsepower is a broken metric and the rape system has failed us.
if one horse is 15 horsepower,
This is a big guy.
15 horses is 1 horsepower?
A Dutch warm blood.
He's just looking at fucking pictures of horses.
I am completely out of this conversation. I'm just looking at horses, man. You know what I always think about though when I see these guys is like every time I've gone to a bar, there are always people like betting on horse races. I never realized that, but like they actually do. Like at Clubhouse, a lot of people go into those places to bet money on those horse races
during the day, yeah.
A lot of people do, and they make a lot of money off of it.
They can, yeah. And they all have stupid names. Mm-hmm. A podcast is horse rape cultural appropriation. Yes.
Yes, horse rape is cultural. What the fuck? That's not a real thing, is it? War bread. Look at that guy.
It's the smallest. That is not real.
That's not real. Okay,
Do you think that
that's
if-
inflation.
I had this other thought too the other day. It was on Saturday. Do you think that if the government made working any weekend, any Saturday or Sunday overtime, it would fuck up the economy? Because like the average work week is Monday through Friday, right? Unless but like everyone else, like the non-average people, have to work on weekends.
Not average people. You're right. It wouldn't fuck up the economy. And here's the thing: there's so much money to go around.
But they can either opt to stay open and pay overtime for every employee working, or just close for the weekend.
Let's start small, right? I like where you're going with that. Let's start small. Let's just say every holiday is a guaranteed holiday pay.
Got it already.
Can we start there?
Sure.
Because not like Copper Blues didn't do holiday pay for every holiday. Like it's like the big ones: Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever. But like, I'm
Easter.
talking every holiday, like every holiday that people at the DMV get off, even if they don't celebrate it. I'm talking that holiday pay, mandatory. Let's start there. No, it wouldn't fuck up the economy because what the economy is I give you money, you give money to other people, and it goes around. It keeps money circulating. It's like
But if the places close on the weekends because they don't want to pay their employees extra rate,
if they close, but what you're missing is that they're not going to close. Because the amount of money you pay your employees would be less than what you could make. So you would never close.
it depends on the industry and depends on the company. Because I don't think like a small
Sure, if it's like
business
pizza
could afford
rev,
that.
sure, no, small business probably not. But would it fuck up the economy? No. It would just be more. It'd be a stab in the lungs to small business.
Fuck small business.
I don't think it's something they should do. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think it wouldn't. I know it wouldn't fuck up the economy. It would just make it more corporate and privatized businesses more stronger.
You hear that, Republicans? Do it.
You hear that? And
You want
Kino.
You want to win the next presidency? Offer that. Because I was thinking like every weekend we have a ton of call outs. Because these shitty kids get a job and they don't want to work on fucking Saturdays. So I was also thinking it would incentivize people to want to come to work on a day that maybe I could be doing other things. Maybe I could be hanging out with my friends on a nice summer day in California at the beach. Or I could be making a shit ton of money in a day.
I think it's a good start, but I think also you got to remember like kids won't have that mentality. I didn't have that mentality as a kid, so I'm speaking really more from me. I would be like, yeah, I'll go to work. Like, but you know what bugged me all the time?
You're gonna go to work regardless.
You know what bugged me at work all the time is like I'd be working at McDonald's, I'd be in the drive-thru, and people were like, I can't believe you're working on Thanksgiving. And people were always too dumb to realize like I'm only working because they show up and give us business.
I haven't made a single bottle cap.
But like imagine extending that to every holiday, right? It would take the nuance out of it. It would take the je ne sais quoi out of it. It'd be like, why aren't you with your family on Christmas? Oh, because you're here giving me money and I need money. It's like, why aren't you, let's look up the next holiday so I don't say anything fucking
Father's Day?
stupid.
Memorial Day, actually.
Memorial Day. Why are you working on Memorial Day?
Because we got to sell things for you to barbecue, dickhead.
Because you're here giving me business. Like, also, look how many fucking holidays there are. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just this month.
What's on the 12th? What was that holiday? Ed El Fu?
Ed El Fear. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But I'm talking like everything right here. Juneteenth, Flag Day,
Hey, we get
Father's
paid for
Day,
Juneteenth.
Independence Day, Independence
that.
Day observed. Edi Ada. I don't know. Those are different languages. Ashura. That's the only August is like the
Ashura.
Ashura. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Labor Day.
My
Like,
birthday's not in your calendar?
I know your birthday, dumbass.
Yeah, it's a day before mine.
But
Or a day before yours.
basically, I don't think any kid's gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna go for the extra $4 at McDonald's, like, because people from our age bracket is such a delicate age bracket, right? People who have kids probably shouldn't have kids.
That's an extra $7.50 an hour.
What do you mean?
Time and a half.
Sure.
You get an extra $7.50.
Remember when we were working for we worked for $7.50, bro.
$8.
We worked for $8 minimum wage, and all of a sudden it's like, Jesus Christ! Like, my dad was like, I used to work for $2 an hour. I was like, yeah, well, houses cost $12 back then, and now all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit! Well, we really don't get paid enough money. Like, we're really getting fucked out here.
At least our minimum wage has gone up. The federal is still $7.25.
Well, that's because federally there's like 4 states that needed a price, like Texas, Cali, New York, and then like Washington. I think it's like it's expensive to live out there. Anywhere else, like Arizona, you can still make $800 a week and buy a house.
And you'll be a server and make $2.25 an hour.
Yeah, but
and
you
rely on tips.
But you'd still make good. You still make a livable wage, you know. It's just
If your tables are nice.
it's just where you are in. I don't know. Anyway, and that's the thing. Is like it's so weird and so dumb, and it's so dumb in the first place, right? Like, not only should we not be trying to figure out the system shouldn't be broken in the first place. The system was designed to be broken. It was designed to be asymmetrical. It's where there's going to be rich and there's going to be poor no matter what. You got to remember that, because if everyone was rich, if everyone was there, it would be communist or socialist.
Beautiful.
And that's not what our system is. Our system is very prideful of there's winners, me, and losers. You're a loser. If you want to make more money, go to school. Why do I sound like Hank Hill? You're a loser. Pff, bitch.
Because that's the fucking demographic of those people.
Because that's the mentality and the demographic, and that's how they are and how they believe, and like that. And that's the thing too. We've built a culture. We've built a system based around the almighty dollar. You know what I was thinking of when I was taking a shit earlier?
What?
I was thinking about Jake Paul, and he says Team 10, and he was 14 or 15, something when he says that. He's like, I want to be leader of Team 10, the first one to be on YouTube and make $1 billion.
Well, now Team 10 doesn't exist.
Still, but like in my head, my immediate thought was like, what a terrible way to raise a child. To be like, the only thing that matters in this world is money.
He was a Disney child star.
Doesn't matter. I saw that. I thought of that. And I was like, boop. And then I was like, that's fucked up. Like, you all raised your kids. I get the whole be competitive or like be better or something like, but like, what about just like being good? Like, y'all really.
What is good?
Sure, but it's not $1 billion. $1 billion isn't good. $1 billion is a fucking. If someone wakes up one day and goes, "I'm gonna make $1 billion," you might as well wake up one day and be like, "I'm gonna kill 1 billion people," because it's like the same goal and the same energy, the same brain function is needed. Hitler was like, "I fucking hate Jews. I'm gonna kill them," and then he like went and did that. Someone woke up one day and was like, "I'm gonna make $1 billion," and they went and do that. Like,
now that would fuck up the economy.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Can I say fuck rich people on the podcast? Yes.
Yeah, fuck rich people.
I was on Facebook earlier, which is a shithole in itself. Every day, bro, with the Disney Channel flow. Yes.
Okay.
That's his song. And then I saw like it was something about pro tax like cuts for the extremely rich. Or not tax cuts, but tax is for the extremely rich. And it was breaking down Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, like how much they would be taxed. It was like 5 billion, 3 billion, like 4 billion for each one. And then it showed like how much like their net worth would still be, and it's still like 160, 180, 113 billion dollars each. So it's like not even a fucking dent.
And here's the thing is like I've pointed this out too, like in stock markets or anything, it's all based on percentages, right? So like if someone offered me a percentage, like I got you know, an opportunity somewhere and they're like, I'll give you this percentage of what I make. I'll be like, dope. I'm going to work really hard on getting that percentage, because if their percentage goes up, like Wolf of Wall Street, it's like I get 1% of all my sales, or I get 50% of all my sales, $5 million. And he walks away with 2.5, you know? Fuck Bezos, fuck Musk, fuck Gates, most...
fuck the Rothschilds.
Especially
and
fuck the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Hell yeah, dude.
There's a recurring theme on this show.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to Josh for preaching the wisdom. But those percentages are big, right? So let's just say you take 15% of someone who's poor, right? And the poor baseline was like $18,000 to $20,000 a year. Let's say you take 15% of that, right? That's kind of a lot, I'd say. You know, I mean, that is a lot. Let me just run some numbers for you.
15% as a whole is not a lot, but
when you only have a little bit, it is a lot. You know what I'm saying?
$15 out of every 100.
All right, well, let's do 20,000 minus 15%. It's $3,000.
It's not that much.
So out of 20,000, for the whole year, the government takes $3,000. Okay, 3,000 less that you have to spend. Let's just say you're a millionaire.
150,000. Save you some money.
Minus, what is it, 20%?
15.
Oh, 15%? Yeah, 150,000. It is more money than the poor person, but guess who still has...
It's a ratio.
But guess who still has more money at the end of the day after minusing that 15%?
Yes, the millionaire.
The millionaire still is left with $850,000.
The equal amount was still taken out.
Yeah.
Because it is a ratio. It's a percentage. It's going to be the same for each no matter what. If you make $1 billion and it's 150 million.
My point being that rich people understand that percentage model better than anyone. They do stocks, they have bonds, all that shit.
And that's why it is a flat percentage.
And that's usually why so many businesses operate like that. It's also why we won't get rid of the penny in the United States. Because we keep it down to the penny.
We don't even need cents.
We don't. But like I said, they keep it down to the penny because it's all percentage based by them. And a lot of the times you need those pennies. But rich people understand that better than anyone, right? So if Bezos or Musk can be like, hey, pass this law lowering the tax rate, what it does is it lowers their tax rate even 1%, but gives them way more than the poor. So if you lower the tax percent of the poor person 1%, we'd get instead of an extra 3,000, it'd be like what? Maybe instead of losing 3,000, we lose what? Maybe 18? No, 28,000, 2,800. Let me just do the math real quick.
You lost me.
Bear with me, okay?
Gosan says, I can't generally fathom being a billionaire. I'd feel like shit having more than the GDP of some nations. Also, I virtually couldn't spend it all if I tried. I would go crazy. Millionaires, I get.
Right. Okay, so follow me, right?
$20K.
$20,000. This is the poverty line.
Sure.
Minus 15%, you left with $17,000 a year.
Correct.
If you lower that, $20,000 minus 14%, you're left with $17,000.
You gain $200.
So you gain $200. If you have $1 million minus 20%, oh, it was 15% now again. I keep fucking that up. $1 million minus 15%, you have $850,000. If you have $1 million and instead they lower the percentage to minus 14%, you walk away
$10,000
with an extra $10,000.
Yeah.
Which is
and it only scales
already more than half of your entire of a poor person's yearly income. Half.
That's the beauty of ratios.
That's why the rich get rich and the poor get poor, because you take relative ratios from those numbers and everyone struggles in their group.
Boss
right?
makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I shit on company time.
I'll drink to that.
I actually saw on the Target subreddit someone got their yearly review and they were like, hey, you're taking a lot of bathroom breaks. We need you to stop doing that. You need to take it on your breaks and not our time. And I was like, shit, I can never.
What a thing to say.
If you were a billionaire, you'd be traveling. If you were a billionaire, you'd probably be dead right now.
Yeah, you would definitely overdose on something.
Korean barbecue out the ass.
Yeah. It wouldn't even be anything cool. It'd be like he had a heart attack, not during sex or a bunch of cocaine. Like
from trying all the food.
He bought the entire menu and everyone a beer, and then he just keeled over.
$1 billion is so much. You would
That's
need,
the thing. $1 billion.
You need to make even if you made like $10,000 a day.
Let's ask. How much money do you think you would need to live a comfortable life, birth to death, in the United States?
Total.
Let's just say everyone lives exactly 100 years. Year 0 to 100. How much do you need to make? How much money? Because you can live off $1 million.
100%. You just say in the United States? First, I want to figure out what the average income of the entire United States is.
I think it's like 40.
Cost of living, rather.
Oh, that's good. I think the average income is 45 to 50,000.
That's not that bad.
Not
average
bad.
cost of living in the U.S. The average cost of I don't want per state. I want the whole fucking country.
And that's the thing. You'll never find it because those percentages are divvied up throughout the country.
I mean, you could add every total.
Total. But that's what I'm saying is like that's why those percentages matter all of a sudden because
Estimated cost of living in the U.S. is around $10,000 to $12,000 per year. Damn. Already making more than that.
But you don't pay that.
No. But
You pay more than that.
That's yeah. We can live in a four bedroom house in Tennessee for $1,200.
I know it's nothing. The average income in the United States is $31,133 as of 2019. That's not a lot.
Nothing.
It's not a lot. And it's even more impressive when you realize how high that gap is and how low the average is. Because you have the majority of people making about $31,000 a year. And then, like, let's say 100 people making millions to billions. The rest of us who aren't in the top 200 people are making somewhere between $31,000 a year.
Which is not a lot of money because I made $28,000 running a pizza restaurant.
And there's 380 million. Let's look up the U.S. population. U.S. pop. there's 328 million of us. Hey, Brazil's right under us. 211 million people in Brazil. Woo-hoo. Shout out Brazil again. You're doing the most, man. But and we're definitely trending upwards. But look, this is where the good times were, and this is where the bad times are. As you go up, there's less, right? I mean, there's
more people, but
that's a fact.
Less resources.
More people, less resources, less places to live. It's just bad, bro. It's just wrong. And we're all born in this system being like...
But in the U.S., it only takes about $12,000 a year to live. And so if you're
That's not true.
Yeah, that's the average for the entire country.
Well, that's the thing about averages, because people in California couldn't live off that. Could you live off $12,000 a year?
I could try my best.
Could you live off $12,000 a year?
Probably not, but I could try my best.
How much money do you need to live in California a year? Be honest. Just
about $28,000. How much I make in an average year?
I'd say about 30 grand.
If I'm working full time, yeah.
I'd say easily 30 grand, and that's not even like living comfortably. That's just living.
Just skating by.
That's just getting by. I'd say 45, 50 to be comfortable in California.
Have extra money.
Yeah. You got bills to pay, bro. Most people need to have that. I don't pay my car is owned, right? I don't pay that. I don't have a monthly bill for my car. I got the cheapest phone service I can afford, $40 a month. I pay my rent, pay my utilities, and that's it.
So I just looked up how many people have a savings. About 71% of Americans have a savings account. Most Americans, 22%, have 1,000 to 5,000. 56% have 5,000 or less, while a third have 1,000 or less. The median savings amount is $3,500, while the mean is $26,000.
Sounds about right. That's about where I was before the pandemic.
33% having 1,000 or less. It's not a lot of money to
It's not a savings
to have in your back pocket.
I gotta blow my nose. 1 sec.
Go ahead. 54K. Wasabi, don't flex on us how much you make as a mailman, okay?
Burn.
You hate your job. I mean, you hate your job.
You hate your life, more importantly.
Yeah, your knees are going to hate you too.
Oh, yeah.
Get it out, boy. Get it out.
So good.
Get the demons out.
Back it up, back it up, back it up. All right. I mean, that's been fun ranting about that, but
Still 29% of Americans don't have a savings account.
I feel like you had to buy those. It's like a combo meal. It's like a Big Mac with fries. Comes with it.
The cost of living here annually is close to $2,000. It's like fucking you were telling us about.
But to get there for us, it's still like 1,000. Like
just
to get there, it still costs about half of your annual income, which is crazy to me.
Just a one-way trip, man. You just live there.
I know, but
like kings. It's like you were saying about like your friend who visited Vietnam or Thailand, and like the medical expenses are super cheap. And it's just like super affordable in other places.
Well, even I think it was Joe Rogan goes down to Mexico for dental and medical work.
Yeah, we used to go down
He's
there
like- he's
and
like-
get inhalers for my dad and painkillers for fun.
Nice.
Well, not like fucking hard ass fucking painkillers. Like,
Advil or something.
yeah, just like the nice
Yeah.
milligrams.
Sure. But what I'm saying is like it's cheaper, but like also you have to, that's the weird thing, right? That threshold, like if you look at the percentages, you'd still have to make X amount of dollars to be able to even afford to drive all the way down to Mexico, have the passport, buy the drugs, get the operation, whatever you need, and then come back up.
You can do it on a minimum wage salary.
I don't know, man.
I could do it.
I don't know. You'd have to schedule an appointment out of the country.
I think you just go down there and be like, you got USD?
You got this? Y'all take Visa?
Dental treatment is here. I would fucking hope so. You're all fucking... What's the...
How much? Okay, be honest with me. How much? I have a wisdom tooth grown in. How much would it cost for me to get my wisdom tooth removed by you? If you don't mind me asking.
You're all dentists.
Let me get a quote.
What's the fucking fancy dentist? Orthodontists.
Orthodontist.
That's what it is. You're all orthodontists down there, as you've told us.
I would love to just have this thing out. It's been a year. It's basically fully grown in, but like
How much is it here?
$350.
$350. Beat that. Beat that, Ghost Hand. You take it out yourself. $95 for you.
Done.
You just gotta.
Done.
You just gotta spend.
You just paid for half my ticket.
You just gotta spend the $600 to get there. And
Yeah, that's the only downside is like the ticket is pretty expensive still. But
depending on the time of year.
But clearly, if I could get those prices in Mexico or somewhere else, into a, I could probably drive all the way down there.
It's not that hard.
Yeah, I could.
We've
probably
been to San Diego. It's basically just another step.
It's another
You just
state.
gotta get your
right?
passport home.
Yeah. Damn.
Passport is only like $100 to get too.
And how much would it cost in gas? I don't know. Not too bad if we took your car.
It was only like half a tank to get to San Diego. So depending on where you're going,
Let's just say another
in
$100
Mexico,
in gas. $200.
I'm like fucking there and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it'd break about even.
Yeah.
But we would have a trip to Brazil in our pocket.
Fucking, we're gonna drive all the way to Brazil.
So you could yank out my tooth.
Because fuck a plane ticket. It's a simple procedure. Only need an X-ray and the cost of anesthetics. The rest is material I already have. Ooh. Do it in his fucking living room.
Hell yeah. That would be a badass episode.
Hey, we're doing it live.
And today's guest,
Wasabi, you want to come?
fuck that. You want to drive?
I'll take your FedEx truck.
No, you'll take you use your is it Class B, Class A license? Put it into work. We'll hang out in the trailer of a semi, of an 18-wheeler. We'll play poker and smoke weed the entire way. You give us 1-2 on the gate of the trailer. We'll be like hopping out, like let's go. We have all the recording equipment ready.
Do the procedure in the traier as we're
While we're
driving
moving. Hey, this is two dudes drinking beer, and this is molar remover.
If you ever come down here, hit me up. Get you guys hotels.
Dude,
He needs a passport first.
it sounds like fun. I also need money first. Right now,
Yeah, he does not have a job.
I'm hitting a wall right now too with money. I've been living off savings for quite a bit, and for 2 months I haven't been paid. So I'm lucky enough to have the savings I did. Down. I'm lucky enough to have the savings I did, but I'm trying to figure that shit out still. So hopefully I can do that sooner than later. But dude, yeah, that sounds like a fucking awesome trip. Dude, how crazy would that be? It's like all of a sudden it's like we went to Arizona, and the next day you went to Brazil.
Can rent a room and do all the procedure in a dental clinic.
I mean, look, honestly, bro,
Gotta plan it. Really.
I trust you. Like, I don't know.
We barely know you, but we'll trust you.
Yeah, man.
You know a lot.
Look, man,
Knowledge is all the power.
hook me up with some anesthesia and some fucking pliers. I probably couldn't drink after, but we could like get like an IV to my veins of some Corona.
You can't suck through a straw. You can drink through an open top
Gotcha.
because you don't want to suck out the stitches.
Blit.
You also can't eat really solid food.
That's fine. Just a lot of ice cream.
Soup. Not ice cream, no. Soups, stews.
Mm-hmm.
But
Cream eggs.
nothing you want to get stuck in your holes. But if it's the top...
I love some ghost hand in my holes.
If it's the top, it's your top, yeah?
the top.
Then it's not that bad. The bottoms are really the ones you got to worry about stuff getting stuck in.
That makes sense. Gravity and whatnot.
Well, yeah, because like...
Also, I just pop my ears like that. I'm sure it'll...
No.
Yeah. I
I've,
just fucked up my ears. Hang on.
I've literally had all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out. On 2 separate occasions.
I'm very lucky to only have one wisdom tooth grow in.
You might as well get them all out.
No. They stop growing in after you're 26, the dentist said, so...
You don't need them.
Can you confirm, Ghost Hand? I went to the dentist and they're like, it's growing in straight.
Capybaras. Oh, hell yeah. Gonna eat one?
I love that. He's just like, I'll give you a procedure. It's like we went to my sister's and she's like, I'll do your hair and take you out drinking. And he's like, I'll do your teeth and show you some capybaras.
The biggest rodent in the world.
Have you been? That reminds me. We need to go to New York to see those rats.
The rats that fight back.
Yeah, the rats that cuss at you when you cross the street. Do Ghost Hand wisdom teeth stop growing in after the age of 26? That's what I was told by my dentist. They said, well, it was the dental assistant, I suppose, but she said
someone who's not qualified.
Oh, someone I hope is qualified. Fuck.
To be an assistant, you don't need to do shit.
Sure, but like at the end of the day, it's like
they're just around.
You should know your shit. Like I'm not gonna be like an apprentice for a doctor and be like, you have diabetes, huh? Well, let's just lop off the foot. And the diabetic's like, we could just give me medicine. We're like, nah, we're just wasting time. Let me take it now. That was fun.
I mean, but it's all about what matters with wisdom teeth is when they come in.
It hurt like a bitch, bro. I told who was it? It was Oscar or some. I was talking about this literally recently. I was saying like for like 3 days I didn't eat because it hurt so bad. I couldn't I couldn't fit more than a finger in my mouth. I was like, I couldn't open my mouth wider than this. All right.
He couldn't open.
This was as wide as I could open my mouth. One finger. I could do 3 now, but
that's
still,
all you can do.
Don't bend them. You don't. No, you're kind of squeezing that pinky in.
Well, I got the tip. Just the tip. That's
Just
all
the
that
tip.
matters.
Yeah, but it hurt. I couldn't open my mouth for shit. I couldn't chew. It hurt like a bitch, bro.
Because when they're growing in, they can shift all your teeth, and that's what fucks it up. It's a crap shot. They do stabilizers at the age since you have no longer the bone malleability and mobility. If anything can move the tooth, like inflammation, muscle.
I do have inflammation quite a bit. It does get inflamed, and then I'll like brush it, and I like gargle some. What's the 3%
hydrogen peroxide?
Hydrogen peroxide, that helps.
But what really matters is when they're growing in.
Yeah,
they can.
But it grew in straight. It's for sure a straight tooth. I don't even think it's all the way in yet. It's just like, it feels like it's taking up so much room in my mouth lately. Like, I feel it, and that's the issue.
I always lick over where my wisdom teeth used to be, and there's like a solid gap where my teeth close, and I can still fit my tongue around. I
could do that in this side. This side, it's like it came down in a weird side to where it's like just fucking, like whatever was back here, it's gone. Any room, and that's what I wish I had back. I was like, I want that room back, because like one day I'll wake up and it'll be like I said, it'll be inflamed or something, and it's like it'll hurt again, and I'm like, this isn't really worth it. Like,
you'd really think, because wisdom teeth are fucking useless. Right, unless like if they grow
historically, no, but yeah,
if they grow in straight and then they don't cause a problem, but they're very,
but it still hurts, even though it's growing in straight, it still hurts.
It's a growing bone. But for fucking probably 90% of the population that has fucking crooked wisdom teeth, and wisdom teeth that grow in all fucked up. Why haven't we just evolved to not have them? My aunt doesn't have wisdom teeth. They didn't come in at all. They don't exist in her mouth.
Sometimes it's the same thing with like the appendix, right? It's like it hasn't evolved out of our system yet.
We don't need it. Do you think we'll ever reach that point?
Totally, bro. We lost tails. We used to have tails and shit. We used to be fucking fish, bro. Are you stupid? Yeah, we'll reach that point.
Well, we're
just not right now.
We're not gonna have specific teeth.
Yeah, for sure we're gonna reach that point. Just not right this second.
Like a couple thousand years.
Yeah, bro. They say the individual doesn't evolve; the species, the populace does. So eventually, enough people will have sex with your grandma with no wisdom teeth, and they'll reproduce without whatever. They'll reproduce without wisdom teeth, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on.
We started it.
Yeah, it's all fucking thanks to you.
It could be that there's a small food entrance near the gingival indentation. It accumulates and it causes inflammation. I recommend brushing that region very well and do mouthwash. Well, you got the mouth rinse.
That's what I'm doing with the like I said, the mouthwash really does help with the gargling because it like gets it all out. Like right now it's good. But like it's like after a few days, like if I miss a day, it'll be a burden. But usually it's like,
so that's not good.
I mean, missing a day. I mean, look, I was spending the night at your place. Like I didn't bring my toothbrush. I missed a day.
You could always use mine.
I'm not using your goddamn toothbrush.
Right after I use mine.
I'm not using your goddamn toothbrush.
It's like we kiss.
I don't even fucking share drinks. I'm gonna use it for nah.
Why are you sucking on the toothbrush?
Because it's far back there, but it's right here.
And you're sucking it?
Not sucking it. I'm getting the food out of it. But that's the thing, is what you said. Like it seems like food gets trapped behind it pretty often, and that's causing the inflammation. So the gargle, the mouthwash is what's really getting it loosened out. But if it's gone, then it'll just be gone. You know,
it's like tonsil stones.
Don't scare me.
No,
don't do that. Don't do that.
So if you still have your tonsils, right? There's
I do.
Basically
don't do
pouches.
that. Don't do. Let's not talk about this. I'm gonna get triggered again. I'm gonna be like,
you'll be fine.
Fucking up all night checking my testicles again, being like, do I have ball cancer?
You'll be fine. Do you know what a tonsil stone is?
I don't want to talk about it. I really don't.
Wisdom teeth is 100% a
vestigial
genetic residue of our ancestors, and we will totally disappear.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's the same thing as like the appendix, the tail. Like I said, we were fish. Our gills were gone, bro. Like eventually we will evolve to not have them, which is probably why I only have one growing in. Everyone else in my family had 4.
I mean, I'm sure you still have the other 3. They're just lying dormant, like the wall titans.
But yeah, but they've learned to be like, hey, shh.
And they're all going to come in at once, and you're going to be in a lot of pain.
But
we're going to have to go back to Brazil.
But if you know the answer to the question, yeah, at that point, if all 4 grow in, it would be cheaper for sure to fly to Brazil, first class, rent a hotel, buy some hookers, and get my dental work done there. Well, yeah, it would for sure be cheaper at that point.
One and done. Might as well just cut them all out while we're there.
I don't know about that. I mean,
it'll fuck you up. I recommend 2 at a time, because that's
I feel
what
like
I
he's
did.
Got some pretty good drugs though.
It's the aftermath.
Yeah,
that's what matters.
I just want this one gone.
You only need a little bit of anesthesia to not feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's what happens after. It's the healing process that really fucking sucks. Mm-hmm. With everything, really.
Yeah. But I'm sure, yeah, like I said, I'm sure it is a vestigial residue. I like that. He has such a good vocabulary. It's like not even funny.
The dude's an orthodontist.
I know, like
his shit.
I don't know why I'm so impressed. I know you should be smart because you're a dentist, and like dentists are like, you gotta be so fucking smart to be a dentist.
He went to school, man. He knows his shit.
Yeah,
knows his words.
But like, I'm just like, it's one of those things. Like every time I'm just like, oh well, like it's always fresh and new. It's like reading a book that's like he's typing for us, and we're just like, oh, this is brand new shit every day.
Meanwhile, I'm a fucking art student. I don't know words.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like I'm here being like, you take this chord, you go to here, and then you go back here. If you don't like it, change the preset. Like that's my fucking life, dude.
You like that video I sent you of the creating the delay naturally? Mm-hmm. The 3 different dudes playing the same song on guitar at the same time.
I want to say again real quick, just in person. That's like one of the hardest things you can do because
you're hearing what's playing in front of you and behind you.
You ever put your headphones on with a delay and trying to talk and a half a second delay fucks you up?
Yeah.
Imagine that with two other people saying the same exact thing. And then also what I wanted to point out was timbre in an instrument. If you play an instrument, like the way it's going to work out is it's going to sound differently. No matter if I play it or you play it, it we play the same note, it'll never sound exactly the same because the strumming strength, the finger strength, whatever it is, it'll always be some small variable that makes it so it doesn't sound the same. But the way these guys did it, it sounded very, very close to where I was like believable of like, it sounds like delay because they had to hit the notes not only the same time or same off time, but at the same pressure, strength. And I was like, the timbre even was so good. It was so well done. That's musicianship. And it took 60 tries to do it.
I saw that video and I was like, damn, I need to send this to you. I know you're going to love it.
It was the cool. That's the nerdy shit of like, no one cares except for like musicians. You sent that to Ryan, he'd be like, wouldn't respond. Send that to me. I'm like, oh, dude. All I do, because if you ever try to do perform a canon vocally with sheet music with your class, it's the hardest thing to do. There's also this other thing where they do like chain reading, where it's like you read a bar, you read a bar, you read a bar, I read a bar. We've never gotten through it. Like a bunch of just like amateur like fuck brains don't have the capacity. Like you have to be a disciplined musician, and those guys were. I would never take 60 attempts at that, bro. I do my major scales, my minor scales, and then I put my piano back in the closet, and I'm like, tomorrow I'll pick back up on it. I do like 4 scales a day. That's it. I don't do shit. I'm not good enough.
He said they don't have that many good drugs here. So you're gonna
weed quality's meh. Smoke this bowl. I'll rip out your...
You're gonna have to deal with it.
Cocaine is rich kids play, and what most poor people use crack. Damn. Kind of the same thing out here. Actually, the exact same thing out here. It's just
the weed quality is a bit better.
The weed quality is probably really good. The weed quality is really
That's
good.
what California's kind of known for.
Yeah, California's definitely known for weed. So, we'll have to. Could you imagine, like, if we brought some weed over to his place and like got a dental appointment done? Are we drug smugglers at that point, or are we just like having a good time?
Yes.
Because that seems like.
It depends if you fly it over or drive it over.
Either way, it's getting
We'll
there.
just hit up Alec and he'll give us a plane ride.
Yeah, dude, we'll have a fucking import-export service. That'd be be sick.
We probably need to make a couple stops.
Do you think we could save money by going to Alec, having him fly us to Brazil, get our dental appointment, fly back from Brazil, and be like, what, $300 in total? Like,
I mean, we couldn't do it in one trip.
For sure not.
In a passenger plane.
What? This is your stop. Jump out. What?
It's definitely...
This is as close as I can get you without getting shot down. Jump out now.
It's definitely like how the plot of like Hatchet starts too. Except we're not like flying over a forest.
For sure.
That's a good ass book.
And like also like how lucky was he that like there was that island right there? So like, you want to get closer? You don't have a choice now. Jesus. That's hilarious.
It was a good day.
It's not over yet. I got one more question for you. And then if you want, we can wrap it up, okay?
Okay. I gotta pee.
Okay, one more question and we'll wrap it up. How come your body can digest popped corn, but not regular corn?
That's a really good question, actually. I think it has to do with like I think there's not an enzyme,
fiber,
like not a fiber, but like maybe a coating around the actual kernel itself that makes it so you can't digest it. Because I've definitely seen, or at least not seen, corn in my poo. I tend to like if I eat corn, I look for it. I want to see it, and I haven't usually seen it.
You're not eating enough corn
ever. Like whole corn on the cob, high in cellulose. Okay, we got fucking science.
Here he is going again, bro.
Corn is high in cellulose, which is insoluble fiber of the body.
Told you it was fiber.
Digest. However, the body breaks down the other components of corn. Chewing corn for longer can also help the digestive system break down cellulose walls to access more of the nutrients. So now I guess I just chew the fuck out of my corn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't ever really seen it in my stool at the end of the day.
I was just thinking that. I was like, because I had some popcorn last night, and I was like, isn't it crazy how, like, when I poop, like, I don't see popcorn in my poop, but, like, You see the yellow corn and everything.
It's like a different kind of corn. Probably. Not as fibrous.
The fiber.
Not as filmy. Not as enzymy.
Damn. That's all I had. I mean, I got one more. If you want, it's the trade-off thing.
I got a
That's
little
dumb.
story.
Go for it.
So I was watching Twitch this morning, and while I was doing my homework.
Shout out to Pay Money Wubby again.
We'll get to that maybe on Wednesday. I was watching Twitch. I was watching Pokemon challenges. He's playing a game called Emerald Kaizo. It's besides the point. He runs ads like every hour just cause. And one of the ads I got was this guy was playing a racing game, and he was doing like a pre-race checklist. Like, it was like fucking glasses on, car on, and he's like he's holding a controller while he's playing this game, and he was like seatbelt no. And then he gets into an accident in the game.
Or he jumps in the chair or whatever.
They destroy his whole setup. Like, it's basically like he's impacting like something. He flies over his desk and he's like all strewn out. And it's like, just because you're in a video game doesn't mean you don't have to wear your seatbelt. And it was like click it or ticket ad. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why would you advertise in a video game to wear your fucking seatbelt? It doesn't matter.
Well, it's just money.
It's
So that guy probably got his first like endorsement where they're like, "Hey, the state of California wants to pay you $2,000,000," and he's like, "Yes, daddy, yes, daddy."
It was like, fucking wear your seatbelt in game and in real life. And it's like, okay, no. First of all, wear it in real life.
Just because of that, no seatbelt, cut him out.
But like, if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto and I'm choosing to drive in oncoming traffic because it's more fun, and I head-on collision to someone, I'm flying with the windshield. It doesn't matter. I'll do it. It's a game. It doesn't affect me in any way.
That's why you play those games.
If I'm playing Forza or Gran Turismo and I'm racing, they're not wearing seatbelts.
Yeah, they got the 5-point harness
in the game.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, it doesn't matter.
In
no.
real life, sure, they're wearing all the safety precautions possible.
In the Forza, no one edited or programmed that to happen.
In the game, it doesn't fucking matter if you crash.
Well, that's the limitation of the game. Like,
They could include it. It's not that hard.
sure, but they're not going to because then
It's
it looks
stupid.
like
It's fucking dumb. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's part of playing Grand Theft Auto is flying through a windshield when you hit a fire hydrant. Mm-hmm. Everyone can remember that. But like, why have a targeted ad of this dude playing a racing game, breaks the entire setup because he gets in an accident? It's like, you didn't wear your seatbelt, kid.
You want to know why? It's probably because there's probably a lot of kids watching that channel who are 16 and below, about to get their license or just got their license. And they're like, hey, just as a reminder, this is how we could reach these kids to tell them something important to protect the lives of the kids. Because you gotta remember, it's a noble thing to spend money on to remind the populace, hey, don't be stupid, don't die.
Where is he belt? It was just the weirdest fucking thing that I've ever seen.
Is it weird? Totally. But like, it's also maybe if the government has the foresight to be like, what are the kids doing? Put the advertisement there. As long as that's there, I think that's pretty good too.
I would say White Claws
White
over
Claws,
Trulies.
always White Claws. If you're getting into seltzers, the only two seltzers worth trying are White Claws and Press. That's it.
I would just say drink White Claws. I've only had a couple. I've only had a handful of Trulies, but I've had a lot of White Claws, so I'm a little biased. Press is also a good alternative.
Press is a really good alternative.
I wasn't a fan. Okay, so we've basically had all of the seltzers that exist on the market,
and 90% of them suck dick.
Bud Light was gross. Bud Light
worst.
Platinum's good.
Even worse.
Haven't had Coronas. I wouldn't try it. It's probably gross. The thing that the White Claw favorite flavor, everyone says black cherry.
Black cherry or watermelon?
I like the lemon lime because I'm a psychopath. It's a good flavor. Tastes like Mountain Dew. Lemon lime, raspberry is a good one. Watermelon as well. The Flavor Pack 2.0. That was a good one. Yeah, I mean, White Claws, they kind of do it right. Four Loko, I would try it, Didn't know it was a thing.
I would never.
I still haven't ever had a white.
I've never had a Four Loko. Should we do Four Lokos on the show soon?
I don't think you should try a Four Loko
I don't think I should either.
because it's caffeinated.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea for you specifically.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm gonna veto that for his health.
For your health.
For him,
For my fucking
I could still do it.
for my cracked out caffeine sensitivity.
I had a fucking Red Bull at work the other day, and I got the caffeine shakes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's how it started with me.
I also had nothing to eat, so it was kind of like, but
on
like
an empty stomach, it fucks you up.
I was shaking,
Yeah, that's how it
and that
happened.
never happens.
That's how it happened with me. Is I got it was in high school. I got a Monster. I got the BFC, the big fucking can. Drank the whole thing before school started, bro. On an empty stomach, no breakfast, no nothing, and I started shaking. And then ever since that point, anytime I drink a Red Bull or whatever, I'd get either the shits, the shakes, or I just have like palpitations.
So yeah, I'm not completely ruling out Four Lokos on the show.
Just not for me.
I just don't want him to drink them because I'm concerned for his well-being.
You got to protect the talent on the show.
I'm being a good friend.
He could drink a Four Loko. I could drink the eggs.
If you want, I don't think you could. I think
I
you would
couldn't
literally
either.
vomit.
I would.
I tasted it the first time I did it. I didn't
weakest
taste it the
stomach.
second time at all.
It'd be like that though.
The guy with the heart problem is recommending Four Lokos. No wonder.
Is Curly Fries new? Curly Freeze?
Pretty new. They followed us on our last show.
Well, shout out to Curly Freeze. It's
Fries.
Fries. First time seeing you. Thanks for hanging out.
They were here on Wednesday.
Oh, really? I fucking missed. Well, then I hope you enjoyed the show. That was a crazy fucking show.
Come on, man.
I don't know, man. I'm usually drunk when we do this, so
Me too, but I still pay attention to
I'm allowed to forget people's names if I don't have a name or a face to it.
I got them just by name. I got them. They're there.
Well, this is your realm, boy. Bruh.
I mean, I just got that in real life too.
No wonder.
That's me. I gotta take a piss.
Want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
All right, send it.
Thank you guys for being here. It's been a good run, this show. Episode 101. I keep putting my hands up to stretch, but I don't have to stretch anymore.
Keep putting my hands up to play my song.
Episode 101. If you want to watch it back on YouTube, it'll be there. You guys have a good one. Thanks, Ghost Hand. You too. Have a good day. Have a good evening, because it's nighttime almost.
Ghost Hand, you have a good one, bro.
Like 8 p.m. or something. 9. Already died once, so YOLO, wasabi. We'll drink 4 Lokos
And now
for
his
him.
shift has ended.
Yeah, that's the loophole. Yeah. Come back on Wednesday. Same time, same place. We'll be here again doing the same thing. Episode 102. See y'all soon.
Bling.
Bye. I'm Josh.
I'm Alec. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Every time. I never turn the mouse back on right beforehand. So we just look like fucking idiots after we already sign off
Fuck 'em.
and fucking already saying goodbye. It looked like you have a cigarette in your mouth.
It's a joint. Smoke some weed.